16th of May, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Tell you, okay. Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Yeshiva Tamanavshi here in Yerushalayim Care of Zoom. This is our second shir in the morning, learning Mishnah Berura. I think we're going to take a jump to Siman Taf Tzadi Gimel. Taf Tzadi Gimel. Because we've actually finished most of the halachas relevant to Mr. Omer. So Taf Tzadi Gimel is now relevant, especially Lag BaOmer coming up this week. Yeah, this is very relevant to this coming week as well. So
Taf Tzadi Gimel.
Taf Tzadi Gimel. Right, there we are.
Okay.
Good. All right. Who is going to do a little reading first now this year? Any volunteers?
I nominate the Kohen.
That's a good nomination.
Do I get a second nomination? Do I get a second? Who seconds that vote?
Okay, I second that. I'll second that for you.
Okay, so we're Taf Tzadi Gimel. Let's see. Which is Dinim Hanohagim B'mei HaOmer. So what the laws approaching the days of the Omer?
Noagin, which are accustomed during.
Oh, custom, right, custom. Okay. Okay, so Aleph. Nohagim Shalo Lisa Isha Ben Pesach La'atzeret Ad Lag BaOmer. Oh, Mibnei Shebe'oto Zman Metu Tamidei Rabbi Akiva. Okay, so let's see. Noagim. So it's a custom that one does not marry a woman between Pesach or the end. Is that the end of Pesach?
Those are special laws whether you have to do marriages on Chol Hamoed or not. Now that's an individual special law relevant to Chol Hamoed. That in general we don't have marriages on Chol Hamoed. Ein mar ben simcha b'simcha. Not to mix the simcha of the Chag, the Yom Tov, with the simcha of a marriage. So that's something which is, if you want, one moment. Yeah, 1 second. Hold on. And yeah, if you want to take a look, well, okay. I'm not sure if you have your Chelek Hey, but if you want, you can get your Chelek Hey, but I'll read it to you if you want. In Taf Kuf Mem Vav, in Taf Kuf Mem Vav, Ein Nosin Noshim B'Moyed. You don't marry women on Moed, on Chol Hamoed, either Chol Hamoed of Sukkot or Chol Hamoed of Pesach. Lo Basulas, Lo Amonis, Lo Yivamnim. You don't do Yibum. Mutter Lo Aris, but it's mutter to do engagements. You can't engage somebody on Chol Hamoed. Ovad Shelo Yasa Suda Irsin. As long as you don't make a suda, like you used to have big feasts for the engagement, right? It goes further on. So yeah, as the Mishnah Berurah says in Sivkat Nalev, Ein Marvin Simcha b'Simcha, right? You don't mix one simcha, the simcha of the Yom Tov, with the simcha of you marry. And also in the Sharat Tzion it says, "Oh, yesh tamim." There are other reasons. It says, "B'samachta b'chagecha." It says, "B'samachta b'chagecha." Right? You should be joyful in your festival, right? V'lo b'ishtecha, not joyful with your wife. V'gam shema yivato aydei pirurivia. Right? There's another reason, because you might come to be mavato from pirurivia. How can you be mavato from pirurivia? Because people would do like this. They would say, well, why should I get married right now? I'll just wait another 3, 4, 5, 6 months until Chol Hamoed and get married then. It's an easy time to do it when no one's working, have more guests, have more time. And therefore, in the meantime, months will go by and they wouldn't get married and they'll be Mavatul from Pirivia. Very important mitzvah, one of the most important mitzvahs of all the Torah is Pirivia. Hashem wants this world to be populated and filled with people, right? If it would be permissible, the Sharatzian continues. This is based on the Gemara, if I'm not mistaken. And if it would be permissible to marry on the Moed, everyone would wait until Kol Moed to get married. And that because people are open, they're free at that time. And also, when you make a special, you're going to make a special wedding in the middle of the year, right? So you have to spend a lot of money to supply the needs of the wedding. But if you're going to do on a Chol Hamoed, well, everyone's got a lot of good food and everything like that from Yom Tov, so you won't have to spend as much money on the suited for the wedding because it'll be done around Yom Tov time. So for all those reasons, we don't get married on Chol Hamoed, right? So, so Pashtus, we're talking about in our halacha, not to get married, bein Pesach Latzeres, talking about from like basically after Pesach, because there are different rules why you don't get married during Chol Hamoed. To begin with.
And that means that the people could get married during Sfira?
No, that's what people will not get married during Sfira. They don't get married during Chol Hamoed, and they don't get married during Sfira. That's why if a person's not going to get married before Pesach, he's going to have to wait till
Shavuos.
Well, to Lag Bomer, we'll see about Lag Bomer, because you have to keep 33 days. The Mishna was going to have to keep 33 days of Avelis. Depends when you start counting. There are different custom as to what 33 days you count, actually. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can continue on there.
Okay. Let's see. Aval la'areis l'kadesh Shapir Dami.
Right, but the Ares Lakadesh to engage, to betroth and to engage, that's permissible, right?
Oh, okay.
That you can do. You can get engaged during the sphere.
Oh. Okay. So you can get engaged. Okay. Okay, then it goes on. Let's see. V'nisu'in nami min shekafatz v'kanas ein osin oto.
And also in a marriage, and an actual marriage also, Misha Kafetz, a person who literally jumps, Kanes, a person who literally jumps and he does get married, that's the person who he goes against the rule, right? The rule is you're not supposed to get married during the sphere. But let's say he jumps ahead and for some reason he just can't wait. Whatever good or bad reason he has, he just can't wait, right? So, so you don't punish it. We'll have to see. If a person is going to go ahead and get married anyway, he disregards the rules. You know, it's funny. You have some people like that. You know, some people, I don't know, they get some kind of a strange delight in breaking the rules. You ever meet people like that, Mayor?
Like to break the rules. I don't know if I ever have.
No.
Is that a hint? Should I take that personally?
No, you were in the army. You were trained to listen to the rules, Barry. You were indoctrinated. Can a guy survive in the army if he doesn't listen to the rules?
Oh, no, boy, wow. That's when you learn to follow orders.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You remember meeting people like that had trouble following orders?
Yeah, well, they weren't around too long.
What happened to them?
They got put in jail. In other words, the first couple of weeks we were we got to the army in basic training. There were, people who were very rebellious and couldn't follow orders and challenged authority and all that stuff. So immediately before they poisoned everybody else, they disappeared.
Wow.
And they went in. As a matter of fact, I think I told the story when the first day we were there, they took me and another soldier to be on KP duty, kitchen police. So they take us to the kitchen, and there's a huge crate, almost the size of a room, full of potatoes. And it had a little opening where the potatoes, when you took a potato, more potatoes came out. And we had to peel potatoes. That was our job all day, peeling potatoes. It was 1,000 potatoes in there.
Right.
And I'm peeling and peeling and peeling. And this other guy is getting more and more agitated and complaining and all that. And finally the cook comes in and he says to this guy, he could tell where, from where he was sitting, that there wasn't a lot of peels, but I was like, I had peels up to my knees, So he says to this guy, "You're not peeling enough, get with it," that kind of thing. And this guy jumped up and grabbed the cook and pushed him through the screen door.
Whoa. Okay.
Pushed him through the screen door.
Wow.
And screaming, "What do you mean?" And they came and got him, and we never saw him again.
You got a discharge, you think?
No, I doubt it. No, not after hitting someone. He went into the brig.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, that's what they said. We asked, and they said he's going to be in for a long time. I think at least a year.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, you can't hit an officer or a non-commissioned officer. I mean, that's like,
Okay.
So
Right. Looks like you look like you got out of there okay.
so
Why
yeah,
did-
no. So after that,
KP.
I said, well, I got to behave myself now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not back on the streets in South Philly. You know what I mean? With my
Right.
gang.
So anyway, so he's this fellow that he broke the rules and he went ahead and got himself married. So we don't give him you don't punish him. Okay. Let's take a look at the Haggah. Well, a couple of more lines. We'll see the Ramah, and then we'll see the Berura.
Okay, so Haggah. Mihu milag ba'omer va'elech hakol sharei.
Well, however, from the time of Lag BaOmer, right, and onward, everything is mutter, everything's permissible. We'll take a look. Let's see the Mr. Brewer now.
So from
But that's if you start from Pesach.
Yeah, we'll see exactly. There'll be more information that we're going to get about this soon. Hold on. Very good, Barry.
Okay.
okay, so Mishnah Berura now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's see. It says Shalo Lisa Isha. Be'ein chiluk ben nesuim shel mitzvah kigon she'ein lo banim o yesh lo. Ki kain pashat haminhag b'medinatenu shelo lechalech. Okay. So it's a mitzvah, it looks like.
It says, right, "Ve'ein chiluk bein nesuin shel mitzvah." There's no difference between a marriage which is a mitzvah, meaning what does it mean? There are certain marriages which are a mitzvah and certain marriages which are not a mitzvah, right? So we'll see. The Mishnah will explain, and we can discuss it as well.
Okay. Kikain, Pashat HaMinhag, B'medinatenu shelo l'chalech.
Right. So the meaning in terms of the custom not to marry women during the first 33 days of the Sphira, there's no difference. Ein chiluk, there's no difference whether it's a marriage of a mitzvah. What's a marriage of a mitzvah? It could go, for example,
Yeah.
no budding. Let's say this person he's never been married before, or let's say he was married and he hasn't had any children yet. So then it's a mitzvah for him to get married so he can become his mitzvah pirivu, right? Oh, yeshlo. Or if a person does have any, there's a person who has children already, and he's simply getting married for the sake of companionship, let's say. So there's not such a mitzvah in that. There's no difference, right? There's still, in both cases, whether it's a wedding of a mitzvah or not a wedding of a mitzvah, it's still going to be forbidden. And Kain Pashat Mihaminag, and that's how the custom has been spread throughout our regions. Like we don't make any difference of what kind of a wedding it might be. There are no weddings whatsoever. Blanket prohibition of all weddings during the time of the 33 days of the Omer to begin. Okay. So you can continue on, Mayor, if you like.
L'chachazir grusha sharei she'eino kol kach simcha. So you can marry a divorcee.
Well, to return and marry his divorced wife, and he had been married to this woman before, and then whatever they figured out that it's probably better that they get back together again. So that he can do. He can re-wed his ex-wife because there's not so much simcha in that.
Yeah.
Well, you look, I mean, it's not okay. Look, it's just not the same. Whatever. But anyway, it's good that they're getting back together again. At least that's good.
Yeah. Right.
True. Okay, so mipnei shebeoto zman v'chulei. Rotzel lomar v'ein ra'oi l'harbot b'simcha.
Right. That at this time, the time when the Talmidim that we're commemorating the time of the loss of the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva, it's not a time which is proper that we should augment our joy during this time. Right now, this next statement of the Mishnah was important.
Okay, umikol makom im nizdamein lo eze inyan shetzarich levarech alav shehechianu yivarech. Oh.
Right. Nevertheless, if it's going to be a curse, some type of a occurrence that he needs to make the bracha shechianu yivarech. Let's say there's a pidyon a ben or a bris milah, or let's say he buys something which is fit that he should make a shechianu on. He can make, in fact, the shechianu. That's different than during the 3 weeks. And during the 3 weeks, the 9 days by Tisha B'Av, in general, we shy away from making the bracha shechianu. Here, it's different.
Okay. Next one. Shapir Dami. Shema yikadmenu acher mutar la'asot gam kein sudat erusin.
So, I mean, in terms of having engagements, we do allow that there should be engagements. Why? Because maybe somebody else, if you don't engage yourself to this woman now, who knows, in another day or a week or so, if you wait, someone else might decide to engage himself to her. Therefore, we allow that there should be engagements during this time.
ועכשיו שאין מקדישין אלא בשעת נישואין, אוקיי. מכל מקום מותר לעשות שידוכין ולעשות סעודה. So you can make a shidduch during this time?
Shidduchim you can, meaning the Mishnah is saying, meaning we don't have a separate time between the kedushin and the nisuin, meaning we do kedushin and nisuin at the same time at the time of the wedding itself. But in earlier times they used to have kedushin, and then you would wait a certain amount of time. Classically, according to the Gemara, the Mishnah, 12 months. After 12 months, they would have the nisuin, the actual wedding. But we don't do that. We do everything together at the same time. Kedushin first, and that's the just before the chuppah, and then we have the nisuin, the chuppah right afterwards. So therefore, it's not so relevant to us, right? Meaning you can go and mishadek. So shadek is like basically what we call in English engage. You can engage, make engagements. So suda, you can even make a suda, an engagement party, what they call, right, Barry? Engagement party.
Engagement party, right?
However, but to actually go into to have dancing, right, and festivities, the custom is not to do that. That's the custom is to forbid that during the engagement parties.
I'm just curious, Rebbe, when in our day, the men are in a separate room and they're filling out the, all of the, the documents, etc. So when he's becoming engaged to the kala, doesn't she have to be aware? Doesn't she have to be like part of that of the engagement procedure?
Well, yeah, what we do, the tanoim is really not exactly the engagement, but in fact the kala should be informed about the tanoim. Yes, definitely so.
Yeah.
And,
so somebody goes and tells her you're now engaged.
Well, I mean, or she's brought there. She's brought close to see what's going on. And she usually what happens is the father of the bride takes that star, that document of the tanoim, and he many times brings it over to the kala. And but really, what we do, the kedushin, is really the first two brachas that we do under the chuppah is really the kedushin. That's the formal kedushin, right? If you look at the wedding ceremony. Really, that the wedding ceremony really consists of two separate different parts, and that's reflected in the brachas that we make at the time of the chuppah. So the first two brachas we make is the brachas on the irison. We make first of all you make a bracha brei priya gafen. And then you make another bracha, Shekirishanu mitzvah b'tzivano ala royos, vasodlano esa rusois, v'hipilano esa nesuyos lanu, al yidei chuppah v'kedushin, brukata Hashem mekadesh Yisrael, al yidei chuppah v'kedushin. So those are those two brachas, Brei Gafen and al yidei chuppah v'kedushin. That's the formal irson. That's the kedushin. And then, right, then the chassan takes the ring and he says, "Harayamai kedushas li b'tavas zu," because that's Moshe Yisrael, and that's actually the kedushin. He's makadosh as a isha with mekesef shtar obia. So that's the kedushin. Then after that, they read the Ksuba, and then they go on into the Bruchas of the Nesuin, right? And then they say Brei Pri Guffin all over again, and they read their other brachas of the Nesuin. So our kedushin actually takes place right there by the chuppah. And what we do with the Tanoim is that's not really considered to be specifically kedushin. That's what we call that's the shidduchim. But again, all those things were actually done many months ahead of time already. They're already very well far in advance of the making the kedushin, meaning making the wedding plans and all that. So yeah, that's the way we in general, not everyone, but in general, most of the chuppahs and kedushin take place under those formats. Bismat hazeh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think our time is up for today, so
Okay.
we'll continue tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem.
Okay, very good. Yeshikaya.
Thank you.
Alan
Thank you.
called a minute ago to tell me that his electricity is out. That's why he's not here today.
Oh,
Okay. Very good. See you all tomorrow, Mitzvah Shem.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you. Likewise.
Go to be well.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Luke.
yeah.
See ya.